supposed to be closing at the end of this month. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I'm going to leave it at that, but they're blaming a lot of the local governments, and I know for a fact that Darlene, Allegheny County Board of Supervisors, and John Lanford, Covington's Board Town Council, and their town manager has done everything possible to try to keep this. So, you know, let's leave it at it ain't all our fault. There's a lot of information that is wrong. I wish it would get cleared up in the media, but we know how that works. Sorry, Terry. I am sorry to hear that the public meeting that they have scheduled is at 12 to 2 o'clock. To me, it was scheduled like that to keep people away, but I hope everybody can go and get their concerns in. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Ingrid and the Community Service Board for the wonderful things they do. What they're working on is, I think, just scratching the surface. Something that's very well needed here. It's going to take a long time to deal with it, though. But I'm glad it started. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I'd just like to echo what Mr. Irvine and Mr. Umstead said about the Community Services Board. I think a crisis intervention team is needed here, and I think it could be a very valuable thing, particularly if it can free up some of our officer time, because our officers do spend an inordinate amount of time taking people who have mental health issues to hospitals. So that could be very helpful, and I just think the whole thing could be a very worthwhile program for our area. The Masonic Theater has been mentioned, and we all had an absolutely fantastic time Saturday night at the Rogers concert. It was wonderful to see that theater filled, and I think everyone who was there had a fantastic time. I'd just like to mention that this Saturday, the Allegheny Mountain String Project will be at the amphitheater, and this is such a super event. The young people are playing with trained musicians, and every year it's just wonderful to hear the music that these kids play and that the trained musicians play. We're also having a picnic at the same time, so we'll have barbecue and hot dogs. So I invite you all to come out at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening. That's all I have. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Well, I just have to add that it is one of the 10 best places to hear music east of the Mississippi. So if you can, make sure that you are at the amphitheater on Saturday. It's a free program, donation only. And I just have to do a personal comment that when Steve and Karen brought John this magazine in the hospital, in the rehab center, he said to me today, please take it home and put it someplace safe. I don't want to leave it here. I want it to be home. So he appreciated that very much.
I have a couple items. We had a Parks and Trails meeting last night, and I thought the meeting turned out to be very constructive as far as what the possibilities are for getting input from the public is what they actually want and what we can afford to do. I think this is probably the best step we made in moving forward with that program out there. That historic marker down here, that is really very significant to Clifton Forge, I think. This broadband program, we've been in and out of this thing for many, many months now, several years as a matter of fact. I thought by now that this thing would have been corrected and we would have broadband in Clifton Forge and Covington. To this point, we do not. That's about all I have. I do thank everyone for coming out tonight. I do appreciate the Community Service Board making that presentation. I think it's a program that's definitely needed in our area, for sure.